Hi, folks. My name is Pat Deegan, and I'm coming to you today from my home office here in Massachusetts. I want to say that it's a pleasure and an honor to have this opportunity to speak with you today about recovery. I want to begin today by defining or offering you a couple of definitions of recovery. The first is that recovery is a pathway into the life that I want for myself. And the reason I'm sharing this is because for me, it really emphasizes the idea that recovery is an active verb. It's not just a noun. Recovery is not a destination or a place that I get to. In fact, recovery is an active process. It's a journey. And it does take time. It doesn't necessarily mean that all symptoms go away. Rather, what it means is that we become experts in our own self-care. We become experts at managing our mental health challenges. A second definition of recovery that I like is that for some, recovery means having a job and a paycheck and a date on a Friday night. Basically, recovery means getting to the life that most people want to live, right? It's really not rocket science. It doesn't require a technical scientific definition. Recovery really does mean getting to the life that people want to live. So I'd like to give you a brief overview of my journey of recovery. I was a senior in high school here in the state of Massachusetts, and I was a very good athlete. I came from a big Irish Catholic family, and I was not at all interested in academics. When I thought about my future, what I thought about was becoming a college women's athletic coach. That's really what interested me and what I wanted to do. However, during my senior year of high school, I experienced an early episode of psychosis. I became first aware that things were changing around me while I was at basketball practice with my friends, and I began to hear distressing voices. I began to become very uncoordinated on the basketball court. I couldn't coordinate my efforts with my team. I began to be very anxious and suspicious of people around me, and this continued to build over a series of months. And eventually my family decided that I needed psychiatric care. I was brought to a psychiatric hospital, and once in the hospital, I was pretty quickly diagnosed with schizophrenia. I was given high-dose antipsychotic medications, and at discharge, I was told, Miss Deegan, you have a disease called schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a disease that's a lot like diabetes. Just like a diabetic will have to take insulin for the rest of their lives, you're going to have to take high-dose antipsychotic meds for the rest of your life. And so the tremendous emphasis was placed on taking antipsychotic medications. And also a big emphasis was, Miss Deegan, it's important for you to avoid stress. What that meant was that I was not to go back to school. I was not to, pursue dating and all the other things that young people do. Forget about getting a job and working. Instead, spend my time avoiding stress. The problem with that, of course, is that having nothing to do, having no meaning or purpose in life, having no reason to get out of bed in the morning, having your life be nothing but a successive day after day of doing nothing is profoundly stressful. Boredom is profoundly stressful, right? But that was not evident to my care team. And again, I took that advice very, very seriously. I began to lose hope for myself, that there was any hope. I was told I had a chronic disorder from which no one could get well. These messages created an iatrogenic kind of wounding. These messages were hope-killing for me. They were spirit-breaking. I couldn't see a life for myself, and I began to just become more and more depressed and filled with a sense of hopelessness. In many respects, this message of hopelessness and the so-called cure of just living on high-dose antipsychotic medication was worse than schizophrenia itself. And what I learned is that we can't organize our recovery around a vacuum. We can't organize our recovery around nothingness, around boredom. And this was a fundamental error that my team made in those early days after I was diagnosed. You see, I was a person, not an illness. And that's important because illnesses do not recover. Only people do. And that was the fundamental error. My treatment team was treating what they felt to be a neurodegenerative disorder of the brain, but I was a person, not an illness. I was a person, not a schizophrenic, right? And I could recover, but my team needed to learn that over time along with me. So I think instead of treating illnesses, we need to focus on the person. And so here's a powerful anti-stigma video that I want to share with you, because this is the message we want to convey to people. So, you are diagnosed with a mental illness. You're not alone. Many of us have faced mental health challenges and have passed through them to live a wonderful life. You can too. For a minute, imagine you are a flower. There you were, living your life before you were diagnosed. You had your friends, family, your hopes and dreams. Maybe you were working or going to school. Perhaps you had a hobby, played sports, or cultivated your spirituality. All of these made you the unique, never-to-be-repeated person you are. But then you got diagnosed with mental illness. The diagnosis seemed really big, almost like it defined you. Those other parts of you probably seemed smaller or like they had disappeared. When things feel this way, it's really important to remember that you are a person, not an illness. You are not a bipolar or a schizophrenic. You are more than that. All those parts of you are still there. You are not an illness. You are the one who is strong enough to make your journey of recovery. And you will need to mobilize and depend on all of these amazing parts of yourself in order to make your journey into the life you want for yourself. Your spirituality is still there to guide you. The people you love and people that you will meet along the way will be there to support you. Your work and school and hobbies will help you heal as you make your passage. And don't give up your hopes and dreams. They are the stars that will guide you as you navigate your recovery. Your diagnosis does not define you. It's just one aspect of the wonderful person you are. You can live your life, not your diagnosis. Now, try taking a deep breath in through your nose. And when you are ready, slowly exhale. Congratulations, you are on your way. I hope you enjoyed that video. I think it's got a powerful message for all of us, including for family members, because when families show up, very often they ask the question, am I ever going to get my son back? Will I ever get my daughter back? And I think what we can say to families is this: the good news is that your son never left. He's still here. All the gifts and all the values you helped him develop are still with him. He will draw on those strengths and discover new gifts as he makes his journey of recovery. That's a powerfully different recovery-oriented message that we can give to families to strengthen their hope, not debilitate their hope. And so I offer you this worksheet, and you can use this worksheet to help individuals and their families begin to explore non-stigmatized personal identity after diagnosis. And To offer just a few more anti-stigma tools for you to use, I offer you these posters that you can put up around your clinic and in your offices. I am a person, not an illness. I will live my life, not my diagnosis. My dreams are the stars that guide my journey of recovery, and I will trust my dreams to guide me.